With CPTSD or with childhood trauma, most times we are healing by ourselves, even if we are still currently with the people that are causing the abuse. And when we go on a recovery journey, even if we've gone no contact, we can think, well, was that worth it? Because now I'm isolated, I'm by myself, and I'm still healing for myself. It's just that I really have no one around me now. And even though we've chosen to go no contact, it's still not a nice feeling to know that no one cares. And in those moments, we can feel like, well, maybe I can reconnect with those people from my past because at least then I'll have that people there for me. So we don't want to drop our self-worth in these moments. So this is an EFT tapping to empower our self-worth in that moment. So we don't drop our self-worth. So taking full responsibility for your own well-being and repeating after me. Let's go with the flow and let's begin to tap. Even though I'm feeling a pull towards my past, I might see old photos, people on social media, all smiling and laughing. And here I am, by myself, having to heal in silence, like my voice. Whenever I tried to speak up, around all these people that I see in photos or online. And I'm open to loving and accepting myself, even though I might be alone, but at least I'm not surrounded by pain. I'm just carrying the old pain now. It's not being renewed every day by people who refuse to recover their own issues and just made me the issue of their issues. And I don't want to drop my self-worth in moments of longing. And I'm open to loving and accepting myself, even though it's better the devil that you know than you don't know. And in these moments where I long for those people of my past, the past that I'm now trying to recover from, I might want to put an ice cold bucket of water on my head so I can regain my senses. As there's things that I do know, even if I move into things that I don't know. And I'm open to loving and accepting myself. I don't want to drop my worth. I don't want to drop my self-worth. It's better the devil you know than you don't know. There is a lot of pain in my past that I'm healing from. I may have had to do this around these people because every time I tried to get my needs met, I was an inconvenience to them. So I was either hurt or abused, emotionally or physically, or I learned not to speak up. and I hid myself away. Hid away that self-worth that I'm working so hard to recover beneath all that crap of my past. From all these crappy people who did very crap things to me. And every time I tried to bring this up, I was seen as the problem again. As I was making them aware of their issues that they never dealt with. They just dealt it upon me. So that I always carried that shame and guilt. And this crippling pain that resonates throughout my body. Where I tried to escape from past pains, but I had nowhere to go to. And my body is screaming out daily from the devils of my past. The things that I knew were not good for me. And I really didn't know an alternative of what was out there for me. Or if I believed in their words, that I couldn't survive without them, even though I might have been before them. But I chose to stand up for myself. And I chose to walk away. And as I did in the relationship of a family, or a relationship of a partner, I suffered in silence. And I'm still suffering in silence. I may have chosen to go no contact, because every time that I had contact, I had contact with people who saw me as their cathartic release. And nothing more than just a thing to be used and to be abused. Not to take responsibility for their actions, because apparently I was the issue for that. So I had to walk away in order to save myself. But I get lonely. My desire for, as a human being, for connection, for some form of attachment, to feel valued and worth, to feel loved and accepted, to feel safe, that just doesn't go away. And there's parts of my healing journey where I think to myself, is this worth it? I walked away from constant pain to now being in pain by myself. And if I felt no one really cared before, at least I have evidence of that now. No one was there for me then. And I do know no one's there for me now. Because why else would I be longing for a past that I'm now having to recover from? It's better the devil you know than you don't know. And I'm sure if I picked up the phone, I might be met with two different outcomes. One might be the usual, well, look who comes crawling back. I knew you couldn't survive without me. I told you so. Or perhaps the thing that I desire most, that they welcome me back with open arms, in such kind, kind words. But either way, they might not be accepting me back, the me that I worked so hard to recover from all that pain of the past, from all that hurt from the past, all that self-worth I've gathered within myself. They might not be seeing me. They're just seeing what's valuable to them and what I mean to them. And given time, that meanness will come out. It's just because I've done a lot of healing doesn't mean they've changed. I might be walking back into the old traps of the past. And it might be brute force at the start, or just a bit of manipulation beforehand. All the self-worth. I don't want to drop that self-worth. And what I do know is those people from the past made no effort in the past to really change their actions, to be responsible for their actions, so that they could change their actions towards me and be there for me. And when I look around and around, are they actually there? Or am I just limerent towards some feeling of the past? Some desire for love and connection, of which I know is right, but I'm having to heal from so much wrong. If they weren't there then, and they haven't changed now, do I need to drop my self-worth to go crawling back? Or to be manipulated so that I drop my guard and those boundaries that I've worked so hard to maintain, to be that source of supply once again? I don't friggin' think so. I don't want to drop my self-worth and go back into that hole of which I've climbed myself out of. And they tried to pull me back in so many times. In fact, I want to walk as far away from that hole as possible, into the things that I don't know and didn't know. That it's good to have boundaries. I didn't know that at the start of my healing journey. That I'm allowed my own personal space. I didn't know that at the start of my healing journey. And that I shouldn't be responsible for the actions of others, that they can't change for themselves. That I didn't know. All I knew was that I should be ashamed of myself and that I should feel guilty about myself and that I can't survive without these people who continually saw me as a boxing bag, as that cathartic release for issues that they never dealt with. And where are they now? Have they dealt with those issues and accepted their responsibility to actually reconnect, not only with themselves, but with myself? Because as I see it, if I receive the abuse, it's not my job to do the reconnecting. I was not the offender here. If they want to reconnect, then they've got to work at rebuilding bridges. Because I've really done a lot of work to build my self-value and to build my self-worth and to want people in my life to have my back in hard times and not see my back as a place to store knives. When the going gets tough, the tough stay with me through those hard times, and the weak get going on their way, because they don't have the emotional maturity to handle this. It's their job to rebuild bridges by rebuilding their own self-worth and doing the work that I had to do so that they can feel better within themselves and not make people so unwell around them. To clear up any memory issues that they might have, where they deny something happened, and I might be making it up. I can neither confirm nor deny that I was there, because if I do, I take responsibility. All these things from my past, all these lessons that I've had to learn from, to recover from, I've taken responsibility for myself, to recognize that I am not there to be devalued, and that I shouldn't drop my self-worth, to lower my standards to people who are always trying to pull me down to their level. I'm not interested. And kind of like that apology, I'm sorry you feel that way. Allow me to complete the sentence. I'm sorry you feel that way for the great pain that I caused you. These are words that they might not be ready to say. And when they're ready to rebuild that bridge, like all apologies, I can choose to accept it or not. I don't want to drop my boundaries for someone that I'm rebuilding trust with. And if they've broken that trust in the past, they might be always on the outside. And it's not because I'm being stubborn or being difficult. That outside space that they've caused is a lot of scarring and a vast chasm of pain that they now have to rebuild that trust with myself through their own actions. People who have destroyed past trust in the past, it's not my responsibility, nor is it my fault. To accept them in my future. And if they want to be in the things that I don't know yet, then I've got to measure up to my self-worth now. Because every time I had to measure up to theirs, I ended up with a lifetime of trauma. It's beneath me to measure up to something like that. It's not worth my self-worth to measure up to that. And I will not lower myself to that standard. Nor will I drop my self-worth back down into that hole of the past. People's responsibilities are their own. Uncomfortable as it is, imagine the life of discomfort now that I have to live now because they never took responsibility in the past. The devils that I know of my past really need to rebuild that trust, because I only want good for myself in the future. These are the things that I do want for myself. I'm healing for myself. I'm recognizing my self-worth. And I'm embodying it. And if people want to snicker at that, let them. Because I won't be around to hear it. These are the people that I do not associate with. I'm wanting things that I do want in my life, and that I do know that I want to accept in my life. These things from my past. This loneliness that I feel sometimes is a loneliness to the attachment that I deserved, but did not receive. And perhaps I can find it in other people who can reciprocate that, where I'm no longer the container to such toxicity. Instead, I'm open to love in all its reciprocity. These feelings that I feel, they're valid in my own. But I will not drop my boundaries, and I'll not drop my worth to those below me and who were never there for me in my past or my present, in mind, body, and spirit. And taking a full breath in and out. Yes. uh, it is one of the things that we have to probably definitely embody within ourselves when we're doing our boundary work, when we're doing our self-worth, is not to undermine it, to give it away. And we are there for ourselves first and others second. And doing that, we can also give from ourselves rather than draining ourselves dry all the time and constantly being that source of supply for other people. And it also gives us our own sense of identity. And that's another thing that was just destroyed because we couldn't be ourselves. We had to be what they wanted us to be, which, they never wanted anything. They just wanted us to be there for them, to emotional punching bag, or actually a physical punching bag. So let's break free of that and let's recognize our own worth and don't go back. So I'm Dion from Eflowtion Support Services. I offer EFT tapping one-on-one online, so check out eflowtionsupportservices.com. And until next time, value your worth, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.